Everyone, right, so let's go and have a I believe this is probably, well, this is going to be the one, so I believe this is probably going to have our confrontation with Marshall. She has been corrupted and converted. This is probably will be. I'm going to do something I don't normally do, but I feel like just because there's probably going to be that final boss fight, if it is indeed where it's probably going to be, or, you know, by assumption of where this hole is, it's like this grand stadium sort of set up, so I'm going to summon a trooper.
Send a ranger to my location.
Level 7. Let's go. Marshall. Oh my god.
Marshall? You're alive.
I doubt it.
Soon you will no longer recognize us, or yourself, or him, or her.
Yep, it's not her.
Family is dead. The walls are broken, but yellow and red in the eye.
God damn it.
Inverted is made right. Leave your
Fuckers take everything. I am not letting you take this.
You've always been the new you. You want this to be true.
Hey, oh, hey, okay, need to get my bay. Okay. Whoa, okay, wait, okay, hold on. Let's, sniper, okay, okay, well, if that's the case. Is there supposed to be something in here? Where'd that sniper go? I'll get the sniper. Leave the sniper to me. Cool. No, don't. Actually, anything in here? It's just a place. Okay, what I'm gonna do is take advantage of one situation. Okay, that works too. I'm going around to see if there's anything I can potentially collect. Okay. Nice. Excellent. Way. Alright. Oh my god, Marshall. Right. Well, you want to go all out in you? So be it. Look and see it emanate for it, can't you? Wow. It's like one of those sort of really it looks like a a drugged monkey. You know, one of those monkeys that looks like it's just been basically smoking and, you know, and it's just like really hungover and really high. I don't know why, but that's just the impression I get. I don't know why, but it's just a gaze. It looks so like that. Or at least that's what it reminds me of. Oh dear. Okay, hang on a second. Get it. Do this while I can. God, look at that. It's just... The hairs have all but taken over it. Wow. That's incredible, that is. Oh, boy. Okay. Alright, Marshall. Let's throw down. Oh, excuse me. Hang on, hang on. I keep on expecting to hear enemies, but... I'll take that. Recoil. Oh, that's absolute. Oh, wow. Okay. Hang on, hold on a second then. Let me just, Do I No, I don't have that. At least not specifically on that thing. Okay. Just figure out what I've got here. Get rid of you, get rid of you. Okay. I'll take this opportunity just to, you know, see if I can actually... To my imagination? Oh, lovely. Killing start dying. Okay, I actually should be able to knock that one out the park right here. Alright, cool. In fact, I'm actually going to genuinely do that. I mean, it's going to be one of those fights where you can just spawn enemies periodically anyway, so... I have a 2-for-1 deal regardless. Whoa, is that? Oh, that's a back spawn, isn't it? Oh, okay. Carefree, you know what? Because it's absolute, I'll keep it. Okay, that didn't do shit to her. Okay, that was not what I expected. Hey, oh god, hang on. Oh my way, excuse me. Oh, I thought that was one of those things. Okay. Thank you. Nice. Best for area of effect damage. Excuse me, Marshall, but I'm just trying to get this side objective. I mean, once I've got that done, I'm going to focus entirely on Marshall. I really will. But, you know, because I can, screw it. I mean, why the hell not? Whoa, hang on, hang on. Wait. Where are you coming from? Yes! Okay. It's no holds bar on you, Marshall. Absolutely zero holds bar. Right. Okay. But, oh, that's not what I meant to do at all. Don't I have a... Wait. What? Energy gains from taking shield damage. Oh. That's new. You get... Explosive, no... No. Whoa, okay, okay, hold up, hold up, hold up. Assistant sent champion endure. Former! Wow! I wasn't expecting you to pop in here. Thank you. I didn't actually need it, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Just a smidgen of chaos here. Nothing to worry about, Former. Everything's well in hand. I hope. Hell, if I can actually target these things. Right. Cute. No, you don't. Okay. Let the chaos begin. Oh, wait. Oh, there's one up there. Oh, awesome. Oh, that's one of mine. Whoops. Oh, that's one of those ids. Oh, thanks, Former.
Out of ammo.
Okay. Whoa, okay, it's all just popping off over here. Wow. Holy shit, okay. Oh my god. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. Come on. Where are you? Wait, where are you hiding? Oh, you're gonna be sneaky like that. Well, two can play this game. Let's see. Oh! Ho, ho. Come on, let me get one pierce shot on you. Yes!
Explains why the board wasn't answering what's causing the quakes.
Oh.
Marshall came down here to stop this. I should have been with her. I could have saved her. But I can still save everyone else.
Yeah, and like I said, we can't save everyone. She was right. Unfortunately, she was right. It's a lesson for us director, which is, I'm assuming that's what it's meant, you know. Like, look, Jesse, look, Fane, I realize that you want to save everyone, but honestly, you can't always. Fortunately, it's true. Oh boy. Get this done. Watch other things happen. Other really weird stuff happen. Because that would be typical right now. We are cleansed, liberate, hallelujah. The foundation is stable, beaten, a-okay. We hope you'll improve your attitude, loyalty.
Well, fuck you too.
Oh, I'll be sure to.
Let's play it smart. They don't need to know I'm onto them. Not yet, anyway.
I love that response from Jesse. I absolutely love the internal response, like, screw you. I'll be sure to impress you. Up yours, asshole. Oh dear. Oh boy. Oops. What? Oh god, I went the wrong way. Which? Is it this way? That's cave. How do I get out of here? Oh, there was something that was protected before, wasn't there? Was it here? No. Oh, there was something across there, wasn't there? I can't remember which one of these it was. There was definitely something being protected. Ah, here we are. Ah. Oh, okay. This will take us. This will take us back up there. I see what's going on here. What? Former? Please don't scare the crap out of me. Crap out of me, former.
The nail is secure. The hiss can't touch it. I can't undo the astral bleeding in the foundation, but at least it's stopped.
Along with the seismic activity. You did it, Jesse. Did you ever find Marshall?
I did. She's gone. She died thinking she'd save the Bureau. Not a bad way to go.
Very true.
I wasn't ready for this crisis. I didn't even see it coming. But I promise I'll be ready for the next one. I mean, what good is a director who can't hold her bureau together?
True in that sense. Wow. Ooh, okay.
I thought I know how to handle things, now that I'm the director. Clearly, it's not that simple.
You think?
I need to choose a direction for the Bureau. It should be one that serves our goals, not the board's. Whatever those are. I need to lead my way.
Oh. So is this... Oh, have we just been like held in a form of limbo, are we, or something? Or are we waiting for Former? A tad confused. Oh, yeah. It was like... I was like, hang on a minute, what? Wait, what? Wow, okay. Can't collect a whole bunch of things. This is infant player mod, okay. Wish anything else but that, honestly. Weapon mod, hopefully this is gonna be good. Ugh, literally the stuff I don't really want to use. Health recovery, okay, I could add that to the list, that's not too bad. Investigations, okay. Search, okay. Right. Could go with that one. Go with shield strength. Shield strength probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Why not? Wow, let me just check in we'll just check in quickly with Emily, see if she has anything to say. No, guys, she's gonna completely talk our heads off.
If it isn't my favorite director.
Hello, Emily.
Now that this nail business is handled, I should probably be getting back to executive. But maybe I'll keep poking around.
I thought you would say that.
Just for a little bit.
Let's go up. Let's just go in order of it, frankly.
Has the nail been doing anything since we restored it?
Define anything.
Good point.
Anything unusual?
Define unusual.
Define unusual.
Emily.
Sorry, but the answer is a whopping yes.
Of course it
Now
would.
that it's whole, the nail is emitting a constant field of, well, think of it like low-level radiation. It seems to suppress any biological matter it encounters. This explains why nothing grows here and why the Bureau had to abandon the area. Prolonged exposure would certainly begin affecting neural processes.
No kidding.
Wait. Was the field created when I cleansed the nail?
I considered that, but the nail's readings are quite different from the ones I recorded at the cleanse control points. I think the nail's field is purely of its own making. In fact, I think it would passively prevent any His corruption, like the HRAs do. Which makes me wonder what actually occurred when you cleansed the nail.
I've been wondering about that myself. Did the board let the hiss corrupt the nail? Did they want me to cleanse it? If so, why?
Interesting.
What do you know about Director Northmore?
Well, he was Director Trench's predecessor, and Northmore's famous for being the first board-appointed director. See, before we found the oldest house, directors were picked by committees of old men in suits, drinking cognac and smoking cigars or whatever. Standard, uninteresting methods.
I think the word you're looking for is bureaucratic.
Basically.
Or antiquated. Regardless, Northmore was eventually forced to... Well, we don't need to go into that. Strangely, the only two board-appointed directors left the position under unusual circumstances. If the board appoints a director, then how do they retire them? I doubt they go out and buy you a gold watch. Sorry, Jesse, I didn't mean to imply that...
Don't worry. If anyone's getting shown the door, it's them.
What do you know about this Former? I'm curious.
What do you know about an entity named Former?
I can't say I've heard of it. You got any details for me?
Well, imagine a one-eyed bug thing. I think it was a part of the board, but then something happened and now it's... separate?
Interesting. See, I always wondered if the board was some sort of entity or group or conglomerate of linked consciousnesses, but this supports the group theory. Although it could have undergone some sort of corporeal exile. Too many unknowns to form a working hypothesis yet, but I can prioritize this matter in future astral dives if you think it's important.
Fortune favors the prepared. Do it.
Cool. Cheers.
I'm gonna keep looking around.
I wish I could go with you, but I still need 30 hours of training before I can do field work.
We'll work on that.
No kidding. So Former just popped up in the background there. Huh. Just wondering. So, let me try and put this together if I can. So, Former wants to get back into the Bureau through the astral plane or its version. Wants to help us but use us at the same time, or at least attempt to. The board basically want to get rid of Exile Former. So, if the board really let the hiss get near the nail, unless that was to attract Former and then let us assumably or presumably try and eliminate Former, but I find that weird because Former is like this other dimensional entity. I mean, I doubt it'd be that easy. I mean, sure, we could take down in stages, but I'm sure it's quite powerful. I mean, you know, like that would be an ultimate showdown, but yeah, that was interesting. So the id what, like some sort of non-corporeal consciousness, uh a network of uncorporeal consciousness of consciousness that consciousnesses that word, but basic network of minds that what have been linked or connected, or I suppose the best word I could probably use is disciples for quite possibly either the nail, probably in the astral plane itself. I mean, because they were given names or just things to identify, but that makes me think that they were able to communicate somehow, so they're given names, or whether it's just for test subject or whatever. But interesting, because they were given numbers, but they also had names, so either are valued to some people more than others, which makes sense. Because even Ash called them by names, but he developed, I would call it more of a neural link, for lack of better wording. But yeah, I wonder. So, interesting. Because when we came out there into this, well, into the bottom of the board, Former was there. So, Former has left the astral plane, I want to say. So, either Former is trying to derail and, I don't know, destroy the board, or at least or delink, or disrupt the board, just to separate, to sever the link between the oldest house and the board. I wonder if Former, because Former's a more former, I mean, presumably a full member of the board. Interesting, because that was definitely Former there. I thought it was going to come and talk to us, but no, it was in the background. It disappeared. And considering Former has only been in the astral plane, and the Foundation is not in the astral plane as far as I'm aware. So yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, because it's in its own version of the house, but I suppose it's in a section where there's a bit of a it's at that crossroad, that intersection where the oldest house sort of thing begins to blend, like with the Foundation begins to blend with the astral plane, and that sort of blending notion, I think, the intersection. So if that allows Former to exist there, and it would be relatively hidden, interesting. I mean, to be fair, we should have got both weapons. It's like the border super control, and Former's like, nah. You know, the director needs this. Give it to Jesse. I wonder if the former actually knows Jesse. Huh. Because that would almost make me think that maybe Jesse, the former was so not Artie or anything, but maybe former, not even Polaris, you know, or at least Polaris maybe allowed Jesse to detect where the Bureau was. But I wonder if in some way, shape, or form, um, former was involved in some way of getting Jesse inside. I mean, I realize we're talking on like the astral plane sort of thing, but to be fair, Polaris also can operate on both the astral plane and excuse me, inside the house itself. So I I mean, and to be fair, with someone like Artie who can operate within both, I assume it doesn't. You know, it doesn't. It's not too far fetched. I don't think that maybe Former was involved. I mean, whether or not Former like already knew that Jesse would be chosen, being a full member of the board. It's like, you know what, this woman's going to be chosen. Let's try and bring her in. She can maybe help me get back in, or whether it was, you know, I mean, yeah. The one thing I must admit I do regret, I think because I was caught off guard by Former. I really wish I tried to see if I could communicate with Former a lot earlier in the game, like when we first encountered it. You know, it's more like, oh, here's a boss fight, deal with it, rather than, oh, you know, here's some of the entity. Could we maybe communicate with it? And I didn't even think about that, to be honest. It honestly did. Like first thing on my mind is, oh, there's a boss fight. Let's take care of it. Not, oh, should we maybe communicate with it? Which I think is a bit unfortunate in that regard, I suppose. So, which doesn't really help when you think about. But I do feel sorry for Ash because he lived in his father's shadow, but he certainly paved the way for a lot of things. You know, definitely went under Northmore's thumb, but in a sense that, you know, I think Northmore probably became so damn powerful that they maybe forced his retirement because there was a whole thing about the borders powered since Trench became director or before. There was a Northmore sarcophagus container, so it makes me think that Northmore was forcibly retired, probably killed or whatever, or restrained or exiled, or however you want to call it, because he just got too powerful. His ego took over. You know, it's like, you know what? I'll listen to the board. I'm gonna do what I want to. But it's like, no, 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 no. We're not dealing with this shit anymore. So I wonder if it was like a forced sort of exile, but more into like, here you're this ultra ego powered, para utilitarian, you know, that we're not going to let be director anymore. We're going to make you power the facility because you're so powerful. I mean, you know, he seems like the type that would have that type of ego. So I don't think it's so far fetched to think of it like that. But that's just the way I mean, because it seems like Ash was, you know, became his own. You know, he really came into his own. So those sketchings I think were from him because he's trying to make sense of the id and how they, because it looks like they do actually worship. So my question, so unless the, oh, hang on a minute, the, oh, hang on a minute, do the id worship Former? Because Ash was talking to Former, wasn't he? So actually, if actually, in all fairness, because Former was a part of the board, presumably, the board controlled the id, so it meant the Former could summon the id, which meant he would probably. So maybe some of the id actually worshipped as disciples to Former. Because I think some of those things had that sort of. I'm pretty sure one or two of those markings on the wall had an outline of something similar to Former. And someone just, you know, either worshipping the inverted triangle or just an entity in its own right, you know, corporeal being. But makes me wonder. Um, wow, that was wow, that's a lot to take in actually. But Because then Ash became, yeah, so, and he because he sort of became one, or I think it's because maybe he's either been talking to former, he's able to access the astral plane, however it worked, you know, he sort of let his consciousness go, and wow, okay, there's still a lot of questions there, but I wonder if this game is one of those types of things where there's supposed to be just a little bit of mystery, where there's not every question is going to be fully answered, but there's enough mystery there to you can. It's like one of those things where you can link stuff together, have some general links. It's like, yeah, we can answer most of the questions. Some stuff is more theories and hypothesis, but you're not really supposed to directly explain them. It's just, that's the whole mystery of the oldest house, which to be honest I'm fine with, but I feel sorry for Marshall, but I understand why she did it. But I think it was probably more like because Marshall got infected, so she probably corrupted the nail in the end. I would imagine, or at least when she got corrupted in her, because they forced her to interact with the nail, that corrupted it. So I wonder if if the nail's that way and Former's linked to it. So yeah, that would have brought. Okay, so that and repairing it. So oh. So then, hang on. If the emitter's different from the other's house, I wonder if Former is using the nail. Hmm. Because it shows a different frequency, and we saw Former is actually in there. He's in the foundation, so its physical self. So that's wow. That was so much to ponder, but wow. I did love Emily's banter there, so that was that was quite interesting. So I think there's one or two things that probably are like side things that I could probably try, but I'm perfectly happy with the progress I've made. There were I think there's like some sort of cube puzzle thing in one section, but I'm not honestly that fussed. I'm really not. You know, I can live with the fact that if that's like one of the only things, it's like what it's probably like because it's not directly like we've passed the section. It's not come up with this puzzle saying it's not like a side mission's come up. It's one of those sort of hidden secret type things. It's like here's a secret puzzle. If you don't know, you're not gonna pay much attention. And I think I've seen enough references to it, but because that mission came up, I'm like it's not probably that important. It's more of a collectible, so I'm like what, I'm not gonna worry about it, but. We actually had things with the chasm where it actually comes up with the TV and all that sort of stuff. The portable something or other, but I think it was. But that it actually was a mission, so it was worth doing for it. So it was quite interesting seeing Artie going through that. That was quite an experience as well. But it was interesting coming to a new place. The map I still feel is a little bit confusing. Just it's not as, but it still has its moments where it's like you still get lost. At least not as bad as the main game. But yeah, that's probably my one real criticism is still the map. Honestly, that yeah, look, the abilities. I think it would have been nicer to have. I think when we got that ability to have it sooner rather than later. I don't. I don't mean. Well, I think it's been nice to actually have on those. I mean, we got the weapon relatively early, but I think it's one of those where it restricts you. I mean, I understand for story purposes it restricts you, but I think it might be nice to because you choose either one, right? And you only get access to the other one somewhat late in the DLC. So for the majority of it, depending on how much you explore, you're kind of limited depending on how much you choose to explore because you're limited. So if you want to go exploring it would be nice that at the very least to have if they forced you into it then it if they forced you into having like, if they didn't give you a choice and said we're going to give you this or that then I think the extendable pathways and everything or retractable pathways and all that I think those platforms from the crystal platforms we could make appear extract. I think that should be a forced thing. It's not like, oh, you get a choice of them, because I think the natural progression of the DLC works a lot better with those protruding crystals you can extract and everything else, and the crystals you have to shadow with the upgraded weapon. I think that naturally should just come at that point in the game. It's like not give you a choice. I mean, it's nice to have it, but at the same time, with all the extra stuff you could do already with the the extra crystal platform landing parts, that should have been a forced thing where it's like, this is what you get. I mean, sure, don't get me wrong. I like the way they introduced that segment where, you still go into astral plane, you still have to unlock it. But what I mean is, have two of those. Duplicate that section in the sense that have that section very, very real, like pretty much at the beginning, like, it's almost like as soon as, even before you get a nail, for example, or even as you get a nail, it's like you literally get dragged to astral plane. I can't remember if that actually was the way it was, but like super, like pretty much at the beginning, get dragged into it. It's almost like it's almost like it should be saying here, to get to the foundation, you have to pass the astral plane, and we'll give you this ability. It's like, oh, because it will give you more options. It gives you the ability to explore. I mean, sure, you can't go everywhere because obviously some things are locked from the story, but I think it would have been nice to have that flexibility, because there are obviously certain places you can't access without both abilities, which is fine. That's part of the progression system. And I think it would be nice to have that at some point where you then go against astral plane to get the actual upgrade for the weapons. Like, oh, it's like a natural progression where they're letting you give you that full flexibility. You probably won't be able to go to everywhere overall yet, but you can get almost everywhere, which I think is that natural sense of natural progression, which I think would be that one stickler I have for it. It's not like a necessarily bad thing. It's just like what I would think would be a better way of doing it, or a different approach possibly. But don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. You certainly get a lot more story, get a lot more about different characters, about Ash. There's certainly things with form. There's the board. There's the astral plane. There's a bit more on Marshall. I would have liked to learn a little bit more about Marshall, but because she's a really cool character. Sure, you get this whole thing through the phone, the hotline thing, but it would have been nice to learn, how to give a bit more background on what she used to do. I mean, sure, I say that, and then I realized that Marshall is the type of person who doesn't talk a lot. Her words are more lessons and tutelage, which now that I think about it, now I'm thinking, saying out loud to myself, thinking, you know what, that's probably not the worst thing. That sure, it would have been nice to learn more, but Marshall's presence is epitomized by the fact that her way of talking is providing lessons and tutelage and passing on wise statements and bits of knowledge and things to remember, which actually makes her a really good character in the sense that, you know, when you hear her speak, she's going to give you a lesson, she's going to give you some informative information, but also a lot of things to consider at the same time, which not all characters do. So, in that regard, that's actually really cool of Marshall. But, I'm definitely going to be giving the other one a shot for the Ultra World event, which I believe is pretty sure is linked to Alan Wake, since that was the cursor who started it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll understand at the beginning of the other DLC. But yeah, gonna end it here. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. A little slightly frustrated at times, but all these things usually are. But really good story. Very interesting characters. A little limited on exploration, but it's more just about getting through those missions, which, some really cool ones as well, I've got to admit. But yeah, ended here. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support you've shown. I really do appreciate it. And if I don't see you for the next DLC, Ultimate Event, or AWE, I hope I'll catch you on my next playthrough. Take care, everyone.